Hi, Kasper.
Hi, Casper.
How are you doing?
Very well.
Yeah.
This is becoming a habit.
It's becoming a weekly habit.
Yeah.
I have a saying that if something happens more than 3 times, it's a habit.
Yeah.
So I try to reduce habits with the in-laws to something less than 3 times.
I hope you met them more than 3 times.
Well, I met them more than 3 times, but we don't have Sunday dinners 3 times in a row.
Ah, yeah. Okay, so you
Right.
you changed the habit.
So something happens twice,
Mm-hmm.
we say no the next time.
Okay.
So it doesn't happen a 3rd time because then it's a habit.
Yeah, and then you should suggest.
Then we have to attend.
So after 2
whatever
times,
it
you suggest something else.
Exactly. Right.
But then you're in a pickle here.
Exactly. That was the point I was trying to get to. But
Yeah, I like that.
but to get started, you usually
Mm-hmm.
now and then have a dad joke.
Yeah.
So today I have a joke about data mining.
I love the setup here. I'm really curious.
But you probably won't dig it. Anyway,
Well done on the fast punchline because I didn't expect. I thought that you would be. I do long layups.
yeah, I was worried about you knowing it. Right. So
I dig it.
I dig it. No, so I want to talk about maturity today.
Yeah.
And I attended Adobe event Target and Tapas, which is focused on Adobe Target.
Yeah.
So I was doing a session at the event, and I was running a survey as well. So we were talking into a maturity ladder, with the steps of step 1 being we do personalization 1 to all.
Yeah.
Step 2 is we do personalization 1 to many.
Yeah.
Step 3 is 1 to some, 1 to few, and 1 to 1.
Yeah.
And so we asked the attendees, where are you on the ladder?
Mm-hmm.
And the interesting thing was that the majority of them was on step 2.
Okay.
So they do personalization 1 to many.
Yeah.
And it's typically represented by having like large segments.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're not looking at the behavior, you're defining a broad segment.
So kind of more taking people out when so it's if you don't do this, you go out of the segment in terms of personalization. Exclusion.
To some degree. It's not necessarily an exclusion, probably more an inclusion, saying like you're having this behavior, or we're not even looking at behavior. We're looking at parameters.
Yeah.
Right. You fit into this parameter.
Okay.
So you fit into the segment. Right. And it wasn't a surprise to me, but at the same time, these were large companies.
Yeah.
Not mentioning any names, but huge brands that is not focused on personalization.
Yeah, exactly. But it comes to my mind a question: is the end goal that they want to go to 1-to-1, or is it actually that the goal might be in a different place on the ladder? So
that's actually a great question, because in my mind, everybody should be striving to make as personalized experience as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Right, or be as mature as possible, but it's a fair point that maybe that's not the goal.
No,
right. We did also ask them, what are holding them back from moving to the next step.
Mm-hmm.
And just to clarify, there were no one in step 4 and 5.
Okay.
Only 1, majority in 2, a few in 3.
Yeah.
Right. What they said was holding them back was top level sponsorship, siloed data, stakeholder buy-in, process and strategy, and then 5th, lack of resources.
Yeah.
And that was actually like across the board. And I guess what's interesting is that everybody talks about personalization.
Yeah.
But the number 1 was lack of top level sponsorship.
Yeah.
Is, when we talk about maturity, not necessarily just from personalization perspective, but in general, is that, are you seeing a low maturity in the field?
Yeah, I'm being a bit quiet here because my brain just goes crazy right now because there's so many interesting things in this. I think actually, the first thing that triggered was one-to-one personalization.
Yeah.
I can recall 2 instances where I've been involved in this, and it's been personal letters, like writing personal letters, which I think is super interesting. And in this digital age, actually, I think that has a massive potential. And then it's back in the early Facebook days when we would tease our fellow students in setting up one-to-one targeting, because you could do it on email address down to very small audiences with very specific
Sounds like
messaging.
it was before GDPR. And
It definitely was. And it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But that made me think in the second layer of this, well, what was the outcome of it? Like, what would be the outcome of one-to-one personalization? I mean, for the latter one, I can think of cases, but when we talk about digital personalization, sometimes it might be better to have been a group. So maybe not in step the highest lowest ladder step, but maybe like 3 steps up would be sufficient to achieve the goals you set out to do, which is my third layer. Like, what are we trying to achieve here? Yeah. What are we trying to achieve with personalization? Because we all want personalization, and we all have the psychological idea that they see me. I want to be seen. I want to be, but in psychology, it's very random things that makes us feel seen at the same time, right?
I like your point in, why are we doing this? And the conversation we had with the attendees at the event was that, there was a lack of strategy.
Yeah.
But the reality is they've invested in a tool for doing personalization. They don't have a strategy for why they have the tool.
No.
So they are executing, I wouldn't say randomly, but to some degree randomly, right? And I think
trial and error.
Trial and error. Yeah. And at the same time, I think it's interesting that it's not the tech holding them back. It's the organization.
Yeah.
Right?
But it's never been the tech, right?
It's never been the tech.
Hypertrends and everything is like 10 years ahead of where we are.
Tech always gets blamed, right? But it's never the tech. So it was just some considerations or what's the word? Some observations that I made at the event that I thought would be
super interesting.
Just interesting to speak out and also for the listeners to be aware that they are most likely not alone.
Yeah.
Because I think sometimes clients or the people who execute are frustrated with, I don't have a strategy, or I don't have stakeholder buy-in.
Sure. But do you see this and without getting like on case by case, but it's like, do you see this when companies come in and need consultancy around how do we implement this, that the tool often, like that the strategy is not there? Because I know it's part of the talks when you buy a tool. Yeah. How, like, it's like buying the old saying, like buying a membership for the gym. You don't get fit by buying the membership, right? Yeah. So it's like we know that in software business and in tools, and when they go out buy these things with Adobe or wherever they buy them, that strategy is part of this. So where does it die? Like why does it?
That's a great question. I mean, typically what I see is that especially when it comes to Adobe Target, it's a to some degree analytics as well. I mean, it's not solution specific, but it's a one-man band driving it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And neither of us are old. We're experienced.
Yeah.
We're not old, but I think it's back to 2010, and I might be pronouncing it incorrectly, but
2010.
2000, not pronouncing.
So was correct.
But Avinash Kaushik.
Unless you want to call it 2010.
2010.
Oh.
Yeah, but I can pronounce that. But Avinash Kaushik, he came out from a web analytics perspective, said 90% of the budget should go towards the team.
Yeah. 10%
should go towards the license for the tool.
Yeah.
Right. I don't think that 90-10 applies today.
No.
It's not just web analytics. It's the software stack that you're buying into is way more expensive as well compared to
absolutely
15 years ago, right?
Yeah.
But I think that still plays a role in why the strategy that you potentially have when you buy the tool is not being executed when you sit with the tool.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
So what could be interesting is that maybe as a wrap up for this one, we come up with a new split.
Between people?
Between license and investment in the people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love that.
Yeah.
Because I feel, and we're not going to open too much about that, but I feel that being on the tool side of this, that we have a responsibility for adoption, both in terms of how we design our software and our products, but also in terms of how we implement them and how we like consult around them and do all these things.
Yeah.
Which is often not part of the narrative, right? It's like the bow tie. Often it's like, oh, you have something after the nut.
Yeah.
It's like, well, that's where it happens. That's when you need to start using your gym membership.
Yeah.
But what do you feel should be the number that would change this around?
So I prepared for this episode, but I didn't prepare for what the split should be. I was kind of like hoping you would come up with something.
You're an active listener. I like that.
So I was hoping you could come up with something smart, and I could just tag along and kind of like shine through whatever you come up with. But
we have an expert saying 90-10.
90-10. But I think that's. I mean, if you're, what are companies spending today on licenses? From a MarTech perspective, I mean, just from Adobe perspective, they're probably spending millions.
A ton.
Yeah.
Like too much for most, probably.
Yeah.
Due to often having the wrong tools in terms of the execution and the strategy.
Yeah. So, I mean, if you spend $1 million, if the 10% is $1 million, then you need to be spending $9 million on the team. That sounds crazy, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's a good way to put it, actually. But
that's a tricky one, isn't it?
Yeah. But in terms of spend, it's also super hard. But what I feel is like it's more focused than spent, prioritized. Maybe we should definitely have our budgets, because if our tools doesn't perform, we're gonna get cut on the next budget negotiation. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Like, I have my boss in the ear every time a tool renews about this as well.
Yeah.
And it's super annoying, but it's super relevant.
Yeah.
So I think it's a focus that we like. We need to see it as the gym membership. Like, that's not a budget prioritization. It's like, how much time do we put in? And I feel that the buy of the tool is the commitment that you're gonna put your team, that you're gonna value the time afterwards doing that.
Yeah.
So don't buy a tool. Again, I'm repeating myself here. Don't buy a tool if you don't know what you're trying to achieve, if you don't have the foundation to make it succeed, if you don't have the team to implement it in this way. And I feel that teams, when it comes to software implementation, needs to be incentivized. And not incentivized in a monetary way, but incentivized in motivational ways.
Yeah.
Like this makes my job better. I can be better at my job if I get these tools at hand. Yeah. So, and now I don't have an answer, so I'm shying away from the question, because I would say 90-10 is good until you made your calculation, which threw me a bit off. But I like, depending on what tools you buy, but if you don't prioritize that the teams adopt it and then you get the outcomes from it, then why buy the tool at all? Yeah. And as tools, we probably need to be better to put in indicators of how we impact output. Impact. Yeah.
Output.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't have an answer. I'm not even sure whether it's right to say, if you spend $1 million on, but reality is that it's millions that goes into the MarTech stack today.
Yeah.
Right. But I think, so I'm not sure what the right answer is, but maybe, I've seen teams as well, small teams that are executing really, really well because they have the mindset and the motivation and the structure for doing it, right? Yeah. So
the question could also be that if you have 1 million, then you spend 100,000 on the tool and because that would probably be the budget case that you would be negotiating, right? Yeah. But that's probably for another episode. But
okay, we'll have it as an open discussion for another episode, or for people to chime in on what they think.
If you are looking into personalization or have opinions on this, let us know. I think we're not done talking about these things. It's super relevant.
Cool. But that's what I had today, Kasper. But really appreciate your input and your thoughts on it.
Yeah, likewise. Until next time.
I'll see you next week.
Absolutely. Take care, guys.